Hello, this is Chaneta, author of How to Have This and That. And my topic today is stop letting negative people and things rent space in your head. Your mind is a precious place. Don't let negative and poisonous people and situations rent space in your head for free. I like what Zig Ziglar says, which inspired me to talk about this. Don't let negative and toxic people rent space in your head. Raise the rent and kick them out. I have let so many negative people, situations, circumstances, and things live rent free in my head that it is pathetic. Some people are not necessarily negative per se, but they are contemptuous and judgmental of you, and you allow their definition of you to define who you are and what you think of yourself. You allow their negative opinion to occupy space in your head for free. You live from that space a lot of time during the day, and the day turns into weeks and then months, and before you know it, they've occupied your head for free, negatively, for years. You allow them to drain your energy and consciously or unconsciously or subconsciously destroy your life. You give them power over you. I know you know what I mean, because a lot of us have experienced this. It is easier to say don't let them rent space in your head than to actually throw them out. Some have been living there so long, they've become comfortable tenants, whatever that means. A few examples, for example, is your boss treating you bad and shabbily? Don't let him rent space in your head, or her. Has one of your more judgmental family members or friends been treating you with utter contempt? Once again, don't let him or her rent space in your head. They're not worth it. But there's just one little problem. It can actually be extremely difficult to apply in your day-to-day lives. Why? Well, many of us have been habitually renting out the valuable space in our minds to totally undeserving and sometimes quite malicious people for many years. So long, in fact, that it can actually be a very tough thing to simply turn off that self-defeating behavior after all this time of having them live rent-free in your head, disrupting your life. First thing in the morning, you think about them. I know I used to. During the day, you think about them. I used to. Before you go to sleep at night, you think about them again. That's a lot of your energy going to negative people, being used in a negative, life-defeating way. Unfortunately, it took me years to get rid of that. My negative tenants, I hope it doesn't take you that long. I'm still evicting one or two of them that's left. I had to become awake, aware, and conscious so that every time I thought about them, I could say with belief and determination and detachment, you are no longer living here. You have moved out. I've evicted you. The more I said this, the less attachment I had, and the less attachment I had, the more free my energy and my spirit. It felt so good. And man, did it feel good. It felt good. It felt good. It felt as if I had opened up a whole new universe to create from. It was worth the effort. Even now, once in a while, I let them rent, but they never stay long. I refuse. It feels good when these people, things, and situations that had considerable amount of negative emotional power over us no longer do. Specifically when they no longer have the power to dominate our thoughts and our memory banks for weeks, for months, and even years. All the sorrow, the heartache, and the pain is no longer there, controlling your life. I mean, God, what a relief. We're no longer emotionally and mentally drained and depleted and stuck in no man's land. Our negative tenants had zapped our energy and left us dry. Our negative tenant or tenant had gone from renting a room to a suite of rooms, and sometimes even half the house. And I mean the whole shebang, and probably 3/4 of the house sometimes. That's ridiculous, isn't it? It's bad enough to have to think about these people all the time, but to have them live there in your head for rent-free, seriously? Sometimes our whole mental house is full of these negative, draining tenants. Don't let negative and toxic people rent space in your head. Raise the rent and kick them out, says Zig Ziglar. Think about that. Every time we rent out our valuable mental space to these individuals by insistently examining and pondering over the horrible things that they have said and or did to us, or have treated us with contempt and judgment, we're actually giving them bits and pieces of our emotional health, strength, and personal power in our soul. The more we let them rent emotional space, the harder and longer it takes to get rid of them. A lot of them have been running our lives so long, and some, unfortunately, from a very young age. It almost feels comfortable to have them there, but they are draining us of all our good energy. We have to go cold turkey and, like Zig Ziglar says, raise the rent and kick them out. In fact, forget about raising the rent, just kick them out, evict them. And sometimes they have occupied our mental space so long that we have blown out of control the situation over time as well. We've added our part. What are some of the things that we can do to kick them out? The undeserving tenants occupying our valuable mental real estate once and for all, how do we kick them out? It takes you becoming awake, aware, and conscious. That's number one. It takes emotional strength to kick out the undeserving tenants in your mental health and keep them staying out. Kicking them out one day at a time, you can do it that way. It makes you feel good. It makes you have control again. Acknowledge that some cruel, undeserving person is renting valuable space in your head and your mind. Perhaps the person's from your past, or perhaps they are bothering you right now in the present. Either way, you need to admit to yourself that this has been going on too long in your life, and that it has become disruptive to your emotional health. The time has come to work through that old pain and to move forward. I want you to say, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, you are no longer allowed to live rent-free in my precious space, in my head. No, you're not. You're evicted. I want you out of my house, and I want you out of my mental house right now. Consider yourself evicted. Sometimes it helps to reimagine the person in a whole new light. Come on, this person or people have been living and thriving and growing in monstrosity in your mental health for years and years. Shine light on them and release them. They are not worth the mental pain. I mean, you do want to get yourself unstuck from that terrible memory loop, right? All right. I know that you are tired with the torturous mental tape that keeps playing over and over again in your head. You need to change the tape. You need to change it now. So stop harboring resentment or holding on to something or a person, what the person said ages ago that is still upsetting you 10,000 years later. It's not worth your peace of mind. They are not worth you thinking about. If any of these apply to you, then you are wasting valuable brain space on something that does not serve you. You are letting this person or persons live rent-free in your head, and all they're doing is making a mess and destroying your mental house. Remember, hanging on to resentment is letting someone zap your energy and live rent-free in your head. Are they worth it? Of course not. You don't want a messy renter to squat in your head and take up residence there. So stop playing the same old life-depleting conversations over and over, wasting so much time chewing over words said and deeds done that happened months ago and sometimes years ago, and giving away your power and your valuable mental real estate. I had to let go in order to be free again. And you too can do the same thing. It feels so good. Remember, we have no control over what people say or do. The only thing we have control over is our reaction to it. So evict these awful tenants that have lived rent-free in your head, not bringing you joy. Forgive them and move on. Forgiveness is for yourself, remember? Sometimes it don't even mean, or you misinterpreted what they said. Instead of asking them if they meant it, you make up all these negative stories, and then you wonder why you can't move forward. So the moment you let go of your negative past and present, it feels good. So focus on you. Choose only good tenants to rent to. Your mental real estate is so valuable. What you build on your mental real estate can make or break you. Let the negativity go. The choice is yours. let it go. They're not worth it. So this is the end. We kick them out, evict them, and do let them come back. Chaneta, author How to Have This and That. You can buy my books at Amazon.com. My new book is called Awake and Aware: Conscious Secrets to Manifesting. Click on like, subscribe to my channel, and please invite your friends to click like and subscribe to my channel as well. Oh, you can have health, wealth, and time freedom all at the same time. Isn't it wonderful? Yes, it is. Follow me, Chaneta Cummings Lewis, on Facebook, and my fan page is Health, Wealth, and Time Freedom. Instagram is Health, Wealth, and Time Freedom. Thank you for being part of my world where all things are possible. Thank you.